Hey guys, here's another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So today is Wednesday, which means Rafa is here. Wednesdays are what I like to call Rafa Friday, since he doesn't work Thursdays and Fridays. So anyway, let's talk about what he did today. Today he focused again on the beautiful Prairie Beige 57 Beetle. And as you can see, it now has hubcaps. Look at that. Beautiful. So Rafa is the man when it comes to painting the logos on these hubcaps. I'm not going to say how he does it, but damn, do they look good. So yeah, he put those on, and then this car, the white walls had just gotten kind of gross looking over the time that it was in our shop. It's kind of hard to avoid. You know, you got to kind of touch the tires. We've had the wheels and tires off and on this car, 100 times during the period it's been in this shop. So inevitably they get fingerprints on them. Anyway, so he took and cleaned them up today. It would have been a shame to put these beautiful new hubcaps on white walls that had big fingerprints and nastiness all over them. So yeah, it was time. So that is probably the most visually interesting thing that happened today on this car. A lot of other little details, like for example, putting in the seals for the check rods. A lot of cars don't have these, but they're supposed to be there. So don't be lazy, put them in. Let's see, what else did he even do on this car today? I think those are kind of the main things. There may have been some other odds and ends, but nothing quite as visually interesting as the hubcaps. So I think that is about what he did today on this one. Like I said, there's probably some other little small minor things like those little seals on the check rods, but nothing earth-shattering. So maybe we'll just leave it at that and let you appreciate how beautiful this car is here for another second before I move on. Let's walk around this side. I think I did actually do a walk around on this car when maybe earlier on when it came in the shop, but I will probably go ahead and do another one when it's good and done, which will probably be very soon. So stay tuned. If anyone missed it, I finally, as promised, did the walk around for the 61 yesterday. So you can find that if you look at my playlist. It's in the customer car walk around playlist, or just look on my channel, you'll find it. It's pretty good, pretty detailed, about 10 minutes long. I think I talked about this car. So let's talk about what I did today. I worked on the Ghia again, not surprisingly, and made some pretty good progress on the radio, and it's actually mounted up in here, although temporarily because it's got to come out again. But look at that. I mean, killer. Especially I went ahead and added the Karmann Ghia emblem, and that's actually an original Karmann Ghia emblem that was in really nice shape Rafa had in his stash, so went ahead and acquired that from him and installed it. And then with the retro sound radio, just a bitchin' combination. I love that faceplate. It really kind of goes in with the dash, in my opinion, which is a very 50s looking dash. Of course, Karmann Ghias were designed in the 50s, so makes sense. And the dash pad is also just kind of mocked up on there, just kind of checking things out. The radio, I think I mentioned, is just mocked up, but I finally got everything adjusted properly. I mentioned before, based on what Rafa had said, he installed a retro sound radio in this car. That was his first. This was my first, and these radios are cool, don't get me wrong, but they are really a pain in the ass to install there. I said it, I've confirmed what Rafa said. The owner bought a kit that was for a DIN type radio. I think I mentioned this yesterday. It just didn't fit. It wasn't even close. It was way too big for the opening in the dash. Not gonna cut the dash. No. So Rafa dug through our stash, and we actually had an old original radio adapter for these cars. and I had to modify it some, trim it a little bit and so on, but in the end I was able to make it work. So finally got the radio in. I still need to put a mount of some sort on the back to support it, but again, it's got to come out again anyway. So next on this car, I think, actually let me back up a little bit. The speaker is in now. That was also a pain in the ass. Thank you. And so the radio is actually going to come back out. And I think next I'm probably going to, for real, install the dash pad. And then after the dash pad, I think the wiper assembly. And then I think the last thing that'll go in, it's like a puzzle. The last thing that'll go in will be the actual radio head unit itself. So just trying to install things in the order where you can actually get at the hardware the easiest. So you see the dash pad, like you can see right there, there's these studs that kind of stick down that you have to put nuts on. That's what secures the dash pad. So if the wiper assembly's in there, it blocks a lot of that area, and it would just be unnecessarily hard to get at all that stuff. So I'm gonna try and make my life easy by installing the dash pad next, and then the wiper assembly, and then the radio. None of that stuff for the most part should be in the way of the radio. So I think I can pretty much slip it in there at the end. So yeah, wrestling with that radio was kind of a big one today. Getting that to fit, wrestling with the speaker, getting it in there. I used the two original speaker holes. Of course you can't see them, but I also added two new holes in there, and it's all secure. So that is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. And like I said, if you haven't seen the walk around video for this one, go check it out. And I'll do a walk around for this one when it's done, which hopefully will be in about the next week. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you soon.